It is officially day 3 of the 2023 Nissan Z StreetHunter kit wide body install, and it's finally starting to look like we're getting somewhere. The front fenders were pretty easy to install. They had markings of where we needed to drill out for the OEM mounting points. We did that, easy peasy. The next day it was time to install these little bumper pieces, and that's where things got a little bit tricky. Now, since this kit is reverse mounted, meaning there's no hardware on the outside, all the hardware is behind the kit. Let me actually show you guys on this panel what that means. Here is the front of the kit. It's nice and clean. You can't tell that there's any hardware whatsoever, but you go on the back side of it and boom, hardware already pre-installed. Now, the benefit of this is that when you look at it from the outside, it's a nice clean design, but it is a huge pain to figure out exactly where these holes mount into, because you kind of have to just line up the kit, make your best guess, and sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not, so it's a little tricky. Just doing the front bumper pieces took us about an entire day because it takes so much precision and so much accuracy, and honestly, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it looks so much better. This is my Pandem BRZ, and it's exposed hardware, and it just doesn't look as seamless. I think this kit would flow a lot better if the hardware was reverse mounted. I really wish Pandem would do that. Unfortunately, they don't, and I've just never had the time to do it myself. The bolted on over fenders look a little bit more aggressive than the seamless design, but the seamless design is going to look a lot more smooth than this. But now that we have the front bumper pieces and the fenders on, today's goal is to install this side skirt and both quarter panels. I want to go ahead and cut into the quarter panels today. Officially total this car out. The side skirts I was really stumped on. I spent like an hour or two trying to figure out how to install the side skirt, and I just couldn't figure it out. So I reached out to the StreetHunters team, and they kind of guided me through it. They kind of explained to me how to install these side skirts. What was news to me is that you do in fact use the stock side skirt. You have to cut into the stock side skirt a little bit. I thought it was a complete replacement panel, so when I ripped out the side skirt, I broke some of the clips and the brackets, and I had to plastic weld them back together because, yeah, we got to use them. If you guys are installing this kit, just be careful. Don't rip out your side skirts like I did. These side skirts break so damn easily, it's not even funny, so just be careful with that. So there are two places that you have to cut. One is right over here. This little nub right over here sticks down a little bit. This is only a concern and something to cut off if you have the Aero kit. The side splitter lays flat, but it bumps into this because you can see it protruding just a little bit. So since I do have the lip kit, I'm gonna have to shave this off like I did on the other side. But if you don't have the lip kit, you still have to shave off this little portion right over here. And my marker decided not to work. This little portion right over here. More like a big portion, but yeah, all that has to come off. This little plastic piece protrudes out just a bit too much, and the kit won't sit flush on it. So once you cut that off, the kit lays nice and flush. And then you also have to cut a little bit out right over here. I'm going to show you guys as I'm cutting, obviously. I just want to show you guys the little game plan before I go ahead and get started. I'm starting from the edge of the plastic, working my way around, just leaving a little tiny bit of plastic behind. Let's actually cut this a little bit longer. Bring it to right there. For anybody that's going to need this in the future, you're welcome. Where I'm ending my cut is a little bit right behind the mirror. That's where I'm ending my cut, and that worked for me on the passenger side. That's why I'm going to do it on the driver's side. Test fit number 1, just to make sure that this side is the same as that side. Hopefully that doesn't fall, because I really want to show you guys what exactly is hitting right now. You guys saw we cut that entire piece. Now we still have to cut a little bit in the front. Look at that on the bottom right there. The kit is actually supposed to sit in just a tad bit more, but it can't because it's hitting the stock side skirt right there. You guys can see that it's hitting, so we're gonna have to chop that piece off. We're gonna need a cut from right here all the way down to right about there. Boom. So all that is just gonna get chopped off. You guys can see that we took out quite a bit of material. Now, like I said, you know, these cuts aren't final. These are just rough cuts to get everything mounted. Like I told you guys, this whole kit is reverse mounted, but the side skirts have absolutely no mounting points. The side skirt fits nice and flush. Since the side skirt has no mounting points, we kind of have to make our own. So one mounting point that we definitely have to do, or two, I guess, what I wanted to do is put 2 self-tappers on the top of the skirt. Now, obviously, we don't want the screw to be seen. So what I did is I took marker, ran it along the edge of the skirt and the door. So this line dictates what we can see from the outside. We obviously don't want a random screw being seen. So we cannot screw anything past this line. With this line being made, we can open up the door and we can see exactly where we have room to put a self-tapper in. I already went ahead, put a self-tapper right here. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might just put 3. One here, and then one all the way in the front, just so we have some extra rigidity. I did a little bit of experimenting last night and found that I could make a mounting point on the front right over here. So what we did is we drilled a hole through the fiberglass side skirt and through the plastic side skirt, put a riv nut in the plastic side skirt, and then have a bolt going through. And then I put 2 riv nuts into the fiberglass side skirt itself, and then I have a bolt going through the plastic side skirt, and you guys can see that is another point of mounting. Now that we have the riv nuts installed, we can screw a bolt in from the back. Yeah, I kind of messed up, so there's 4 holes, but we can take a bolt, screw it in from the back, and there we have a strong mounting point. Or you could probably just use some double-sided tape, but I just feel a little bit more confident with an actual nut and a riv nut. This just took me almost an hour. A little bit of trial and error, but I think I've got the kit to pretty much where I need it. All right, boys, the car is finally somewhat together. We're still missing a bunch of things like the side splitters, the front lip, and the front splitter, but just for the sake of showing you guys what the car looks like one last time, I kind of just hack jobbed and put everything together. You guys can see that there's literally tape holding on the quarter panel, but I just wanted to show you guys this car one last time while it's in this little weird middle phase, because the next time you guys see this car, this thing is gonna be painted. I'm really happy with this kit and how it fits. This kit surprisingly fit really, really well. Would you just look at that? That looks so freaking good. StreetHunter's absolutely killed it on this kit, dude. This kit looks so freaking good. We got the duckbill bolted on. I think they recommended to 3M tape it or something like that, which I really didn't want to do. So I made my own mounting holes and mounted it with a actual riv nut and a bolt. We're gonna go ahead and start taking apart this car so we can go ahead and get it painted.